Huh? 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 Dad. Hey, hijab is hijab, right? Hey, masahe baby. What? Hey, kabal, kabal. Hey, masahe. Kabal, kabal. Hey. Pasa. Ay, man. Voice. Oh, dito mo sa pasok. Hey. Hey. Bakit? Bakit? Cool. Hey guys, I know you guys cannot see this, but it's like 7:30. I'm at that lake. He's in the fog on the water, on top of the water, and sunset. It's nice. Yeah. Guys, I just come back from the walk and I spent about 8 minutes on my desktop and got to read this patient of the Daleks. So I love writing the person of the dialogue. In some way, it was the easily doctor book I have ever written. I don't think it would be, not at first when I asked to do it. The person seemed very great. Dialogues with David Tennant as the doctor on his own, with no company, no effect to the time war or that ongoing series. Oh, there was so much that would go on wrong. I felt, oh no, to be asked because this was the first rank Oig Doctor book to feature the Dalek for a long time. But I was being put on in a position of trust. I had to go get it right. A bit of background: the book I had to write was to be one of the C.S. Oig novels to celebrate and showcase the most famous Master of Doctor, to be published in the year of the TV special. In the very book Papa 10 Doctor Fanny Barrier, there were other masters, of course, but this one was the features the Dalek, the dog all-time greatest enemies, Doctor Who Prime Masters. One thing besides the Doctor and the TARDIS most, I fully expect to be paralyzed with excitement. Could I think of a good enough stories? A killing story that would, although the dark and the in print, they serve but the new fans of the show and the art too. But it was not all that in the end, because the story I've been writing to write since I was since John was the doctor. Pace was the doctor, just bring straight out. It was the story that wrote itself, the characters. I never thought of yet, but I could read it. As the doctor were and they want joy to write, they have no names quite whatsoever. They are pure, they are unleashed, they are menace, they are darkness, heaviness. They are like, I mentioned Joe Pence, alright, no one just mentioned Joe. He was saying the name reverse. He was the first doctor I watched as the Spain's Impossible Child. Now Spain as Impossible, some of that his TV stories, Sting Homes Village and myself self-practice. One of the them as the plant of that was 1933 for those who remember. Okay. Basa ko. Basa ako. Bakit ma?
Yung washing machine mag-start ako.
Labada?
Oo, ako na lang.
Ma. Ayos na. Ayos ko. Ang taga yan? Na? Tanda? Hindi. Lepas. Di Iba tayo iba gawa. Let's go next.
Yeah, I have camped in Switzerland. It's a bit different.
Wait. Don't press that skip button. Did you know that you can earn your psychology degree from home? You can learn in-demand skills without having to even leave your house. Signing up is so easy. All you have to do is press the button below, answer a few questions, and within less than a minute, you're going to be matched with the perfect school for you. Get started now.
Different.
That sounds posh.
Yeah, it was posh. It was posh camping, imagine that.
Glamping.
I think the car, way better than that Ford that I ever had. That Ford. Stefan was a disappointment, to be honest.
Absolutely incredibly perfect.
When am I going to be allowed to drive the car? Am I not allowed to drive your car?
You can't even drive stick. No, I would have let you drive Stefan, but...
Am I allowed to drive your car?
You can't even drive stick. No, I would have let you drive Stefan, but... We'll see.
I'm a very good driver.
Maybe at the end of this trip we'll develop a trusting relationship where I might let you drive it under my careful surveillance.
And we're going to have the watermelon.
She's sitting there kind of lonely, right?
Yeah.
You don't have it now?
Yeah.
What did you?
Look at the size of this knife. Look at the size of the watermelon.
You can do it. I think you were strong. You achieve. Oh, bootcamp session number 2. How to drive stick. Before you put it in first gear, in order to put it in first gear would be interesting.
I do it.
Because you can't just shift it into first gear, right?
You have to, yeah, clutch for it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, first gear. And now what? To in first gear, and the clutch is like, and you've got the flat press can go. I'll let him go.
You can do it.
No.
Try to switch in a second.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Well, I can do it.
No. And oh my god! Focus on the road while driving! Give it to me!
No.
Oh my god! And we're going back. Don't use your phone while driving! Give it to me!
No.
Oh my god! Focus on the road! Guys, feels like we went stay ever. I just reminded there's water there and I don't want us to drive into it. Session number 3. How to fly a drone and help your sister with her work.
Today we're learning many things, including how to drive a manual car.
We half siblings and I left home. He was so cute when he was little. But since we're technically half siblings and I left home when he was a toddler, we never really got to spend much time together. This summer for
So what's happening? My mom and I just watched some videos now because that's why I have been waiting. So where Sunshine we just Alright. You next. Oh.
I'm just going to take a few seconds here, make sure everything is working correctly. It looks like my audio is coming in well. Everything.
Ma. Ma. Ma, bakit ma? Hindi pa ma.
And then I'm going to show you how BERT works. So let's say we have a new feature called pump capacity, and clearly it doesn't work.
Is that something that tells you these people don't have financial wherewithal? Writing an article.
First sentence in the Bloomberg article. A 6-minute meeting drove Porsche to quit her job. Recently taken a position as a research compliance specialist in February, enticed by the promises of remote work. Then the company changed their mind. Which companies can do and will do.
Yeah, of course. Companies can change their mind all the time. It's their company, right? And you can change your mind too. And that's what people are doing.
The final straw. Listen to the language of this article. This is a reporter that's talking to this one. The final straw came a few weeks ago when an in-person gathering scheduled for all of 360 seconds. She got dressed, dropped her 2 kids off at daycare, drove to the office, had a brief chat, and decided she was done.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all. To make that commute and get ready and all that stuff simply because your boss wants to have a 6-minute meeting. Absolutely, that doesn't make any sense.
Really? Her quote, I just had it. I just had it. I couldn't do it. It's too much. To go to the office, have a meeting. Quick pause. Okay, I get that it was not a very long meeting, but it doesn't matter. You can't just tell companies, yeah, I'm only going to remote work, and if they change that, you can't just say, no, you can quit, and she quit. And good on Porsche. Good for her. She quit.
And Steve shakes his head like, this bitch dumb. She's so dumb. She shouldn't have done that. She quit over something so silly. Ken, I don't think you're getting it. I don't think you're getting it, buddy. This happens from a pattern. There's probably a build-up point. You know, your bosses do this over a certain amount of time, and you're just like, wait, this isn't worth it anymore. And so then you quit. This probably just wasn't a one-off deal. And then she was like, okay, bye.
But if this is some of you that are watching this and you go, hey, I really like working from home. I want to work from home, and I don't like it when they make me come into meetings. Well, let me tell you something. Good luck. Go job hopping. That's fine. But this is an attitude issue that
it's people respecting their time. It's people respecting their life. It's people not living to work.
Listen to this. There's the notion that some bosses will make those in this generation less familiar with remote work. That's a nice way of saying older people are eager to retain tight control of their meetings. Listen to what she says. They feel like we're not working.
That's true. That's the object permanent problem. If they can't see you working, how would you be working? The concept of judging people on the results of what they bring doesn't seem to be something that they can really soak in and understand. You can visually see typing things on your keyboard. That's why they make you download all this remote tracking software and judge your mouse movements. You know, if you're not moving your mouse, you're not being productive. They don't understand.
It's a boomer power play.
Yes. Yes, it is.
This is what it is. And this is all I'm going to do. You work for the company.
I mean, you kind of work for the CEO at the end of the day, though. You can say the company and hide the CEO behind the company, but at the end of the day, you work for the CEO. Like, the buck stops with the person that has authority. The buck doesn't stop with some arbitrary company deity, okay? Regardless of Mitt Romney saying corporations are people.
They sign your paycheck.
Okay, so what?
Remote work absolutely is a viable option for some companies, and it has proven to work. But just as many positive stories that are out there on remote work, there are just as many negative stories, and the data is clear. Culture suffers.
Who cares about culture?
It just does. But if your culture is okay with that, fine. But some companies want a culture of people being in the office and all the benefits that come with that.
What he's really meaning to say here, and he says the company wants a culture, is that like a few people at the top want a culture, not the employees. The company drive to go to a 6-minute meeting, Ken.
Who's old and outdated?
I think anyone can be an owner, but they have to be willing to put in a lot of work and have.
All right. From USA Today, the workday working from home doesn't just feel longer, it actually is longer. Harvard Business School did a study of more than 3 million people in 16 cities across the globe and found that the average workday increased by 48.5 minutes during the pandemic's early stages About 40% of hybrid or remote employees say their workdays have become longer in the last 12 months. About 67% of employees surveyed agree that their expectations of flexibly working have increased. Now, I've been telling you this is coming, this trend. Well, I just want to kind of work these hours, and it's interesting. 55% agree that flexibility is a factor in whether they stay with their employers. So, here's what's going to be very interesting. The desire of people for flexibility colliding with companies' adaptability, and are they willing to do this? Somebody asked me yesterday here in the office, a colleague said, where's the 40-hour work week come from? And to be honest with you, I don't know. You know, I haven't done the history on it. It doesn't matter. But it is a cultural, certainly an American cultural norm. Working 9 to 5, you know. Dolly Parton made a song out of it, all right? The reality is that the 4-day work week, you know, if you're looking for 40 hours, and that's the cultural norm so far still, you know, our company's going to be fine with you working Monday through Thursday. You know? I mean, if you're working 40 hours and you're going, well, I'm doing it Monday through Thursday, I'm working 10 hours. And I don't know how companies are policing these remote workforces. We didn't do it for very long at Ramsey Solutions, so I don't know how you police it. You know, that's scary and creepy. People working at home, man, well, you know, what's going on there? So what does it come down to? The point I'm making is productivity is really measured, not so much the amount of hours. So, why is the day extended? I'll tell you why. Because you used to go to work and you used to go home. Now you don't go to work. You walk from the bedroom or the kitchen to the office, and there is no, well, I got to go home. I want to see my kids. They're running around bothering you all day. So you're like, I don't actually want to see those little ruffians. I want to stay locked in my computer so they'll leave me alone. Just keeping it real, folks. For some of you, it's the, well, I'm sitting down in front of this computer. I got distracted earlier today, so I walked the dog. This dog was really cute, brought his little tennis ball up to me, and I just couldn't say no, so I spent 45 minutes on the walk instead of 20. Because I saw 2 neighbors and we started talking about our kids, you know, and all of a sudden you go, well, I feel guilty, now I got to work another hour. I mean, I could go on and on and on with all of the myriad of reasons why people are working longer. So, be careful what you wish for. I can't wait for the news stories and the data on the backlash here. Because I think we are going to see a big shift. But then I think you're going to see more people experiencing what they call burnout, and burnout's just a symptom. It's not an actual source. Burnout's what you feel. What your experience is build up on the heart. Build up. Just like plaque on your teeth. It just builds up, builds up, builds up. You can't ever get away from the work because you're working from home. I don't care if you're wearing shorts and sandals and taking the dog on a walk or not. It's going to eventually suck your soul right out of your body. Not to mention the fact that we are relational beings. We are made to relate, made to connect. And that's why we're seeing depression and suicide skyrocket among school kids. The very kids that hate school would just do about anything to go back to school. Why? Because they need community. They need relationship. You lock a kid up and they can't do anything but play online, and that's what you're doing on Zoom, it's not good for you. So I'm not anti-remote work. I'm saying the data shows us that people that are working remotely at home are working more. And I doubt your productivity has gone up. So, might be time to get out of the old home office and make that a fallback, a rare occasion. Even if you got to go to a coffee shop in your area, I don't care, go to the park. Something to think about.
Google Career Certificates provide online training for in-demand jobs. Training for jobs in IT support, project management,
Matt?
Joe, Nathan, I mean, I asked myself this morning when I was reading, I was like, Wall Street Journal headline, these people who work from home have a secret. They have 2 jobs. What? Now, I should have seen this. And I asked myself, Joe, Nathan, I mean, I asked myself this morning when I was reading, I was like, why didn't I see this coming? This is so obvious. And I think it's because I'm like, I'm not as cynical as maybe I thought I was. Maybe I want my fellow man to be more honorable. Maybe, let's just see. A small dedicated group of white-collar workers in industries from tech to banking to insurance say they found a way to double their pay. They work 2 full-time remote jobs. They don't tell anyone. Duh. And for the most part, they're not working too much either. Okay, now this is where, if they post this on Instagram or Facebook, but particularly Instagram, people get a little ornery with me because they get their feelings hurt because they love remote work and they don't ever want to go back to an office. And they think, oh, Ken, you're just demonizing remote work. You're just so mean. No, listen, I'm not. What I'm saying is, this happens with remote work. Why? Because there's nobody watching these people. And so it's an honor system. And so these people are going, well, my boss has no idea what I'm doing other than whatever meetings I got to show up to, reports, calls, whatever. Answer my emails. I've got time. I'm going to get another remote job. Neither company, by the way, knows about the other. For this group of people, and by the way, the Wall Street Journal is saying this is a small group of people. I don't buy that. But there's a movement behind this, folks. Listen to this. There's a new website called Overemployed, started by 2 tech workers this spring, and it aims to rally workers around the concept of stealthily holding multiple jobs. Okay. Can I rewrite that? Here's an alternate sentence. These folks are emboldened by a new website called Overemployed, started by 2 tech workers this spring. And this spring, it aims to rally workers around the concept of lying to your employers so that you can hold down 2 jobs and make more money. That's the alternate way of writing. Now, here's where this movement's coming from. And I want to kind of bring this full circle. They frame this overemployed concept as a way of wresting back control after decades of working for the man who doesn't pay the fee. Does that make it right? I ask you, does it make it right? Have these people been treated poorly by bad leaders? Guaranteed. Does it make it right to have 2 remote jobs and neither company knows about it? This is a direct quote in the article from a 29-year-old software developer. It's 2 jobs for 1. He estimates, he works for a media company and a live events company. He estimates he's logging 3 to 10 hours of actual work a week when he had 1 job. So he could add another one. And he said this. He goes, basically, I knock down the work I need to do for both, and the rest of my time is just attending meetings and pretending to look busy. So herein lies the problem with remote work. There is no accountability, and people will abuse it. I'm not saying everyone. Please don't send me nasty comments. I didn't say that everybody's dishonorable and everybody's cheating the system. I also, can I just say, I understand why people may feel jilted and what they couldn't get ahead and they're enterprising and going, look, because can I just say this? If you are a leader and you are just going, we're okay with remote work and we're not going to have systems and accountability in place, you will be abused by some people. So, yeah, there it is. I guarantee you this is going to happen more. I mean, you got guys putting a website out. They're like brash about it. Good for them. I mean, I got no problem with somebody trying to make a buck. or 2, and no problem. But I will tell you, I think it's wrong to collect a full-time salary, and you're supposed to be giving full-time effort, and your company thinks you are, and you're knocking down another full-time job, and neither company knows about it. And I know that all the arguments, I can hear them now, Jim. Well, it only takes you 15 hours a week, so I'm really not... Well, is it really clear between you and your leader that you're only working 15 hours a week for what you're getting paid? If it is, I applaud you, but that's not what's going on here. These people are being paid by companies to give a full work week, and they're working 2 jobs, making 2 incomes. So that's dishonorable. If they don't know about it, you are lying. I'm just going to tell you. I'm sorry. But I say all the time on this show, we wear our big boy pants and our big girl pants here. And, but let me tell you, leadership in companies that are all remote work and there's no accountability, they've set themselves up for this. So part of me, Joe, goes, I got a little Robin Hood in me. I don't think it's right, but I kind of look back and go, you kind of put yourself in the situation. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you what doesn't happen. If you've got people working in an office like we do at Ramsey Solutions, I promise you, people aren't knocking down 2 full-time jobs while working here. They may have a side hustle, and we have no problem with that. But it's called a side hustle for a reason.
Predicament here. I have my annual yearly review tomorrow, and I know you flat out say do not say I need a raise. Go in requesting doing a growth plan. However, I kind of feel like I can't do that. A little bit of a background story. I was hired on, but this company fired me 2 years ago.
Okay.
And they called me back.
Okay.
They missed me.
Yeah, right.
And that felt great, but they did hire me on at a pay raise, and I've been dropping hints for the last 3-4 months. I'm like, is there anything else you want to give me? I'll be happy to help in any other way. I used to do more, I had more responsibilities before, and they were like, no, you're doing great, there's nothing else. And I'm just kind of like, well, how can I grow or how can I even request a pay raise in a sense if you're not giving me more work?
So do you feel like they got you capped out in this current position?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and are there any other positions in the company that you're aware of that you got your eye on and you go, I think I would enjoy that?
No, and
so it sounds like yeah, go ahead, because I think this next statement you're about to make is going to tell me what I need to tell you. Go ahead.
So I don't love the work. I love the people. I love the company. It really hurt me when it went down the way we did, but I didn't blame them because I was at fault.
Okay.
However, I just started actively listening to both you and Christy, and I know I'm not doing what I love to do.
Good.
But I have a game plan.
Good.
I'm working on it.
Good.
But it's not in the industry at all, and I am completely in debt because I went following this.
Okay.
So following the norm, you could say, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't want to search for another job that I know I'll hate.
Okay.
Because the pay is more.
Got it. Well, that's your prerogative. To me, if I'm in a day job that I would ordinarily hate, but the job was allowing me to get out of debt so that I could then get qualified to do the thing that I know I want to do, then I would adjust my attitude. I'm not trying to tell you to do that. You have two options in my mind. What's that?
I was in the job I absolutely hated. It was toxic.
Yeah, so I don't want you to be in a toxic environment. What I'm saying is you have two options right now. You stay where you are, okay, until you get out of debt and you need more money, so you work a second job. So you stay where you are, where you like the people, and they're giving you a second chance, and they give you a second chance at a pay raise. So wonderful. So if it's more income, how do we make more income? If you can't make more income where you are, then you need to add a second job or a weekend job or Uber at night or whatever. That's one option. The second option is you go look for something else out there that you don't have to hate. It doesn't have to be toxic, but it is just another day job where you are making significantly more money if you feel you're qualified to do that. That's just where you sit right now, because getting out of debt faster is going to allow you to get qualified to do the thing that you want to do, correct? The work you love. Okay. So it's a mindset issue. It's a hustle issue. It's not forever. But you have to ask yourself, what am I willing to do to speed my timeline up?
Yeah. And I guess it's frustrating because I do want to.
Of course it is.
I do want to do more work. I love the company. I want to help out in any way I can, but
Yeah, but here's the thing. All that's great, but you need more money. Because more money means you get out of debt faster, right? What's your payoff time right now? If everything stays the same, when do you anticipate being out of debt?
About 2024.
Okay, how much debt do you have right now?
About $113,000.
What does that consist of?
Student loans, the majority, credit card debt, and the car loan.
Okay, how much is the car worth?
The car is worth, I checked it this morning, $19,000, but I have $9,000 left.
Oh, okay. Normally I would say, I'm always looking to knock a big chunk out by selling a car. But you've only got $9,000 left and you're going to need a car. I wouldn't sell it in this case because you're going to have a really good car and you're going to knock that out. I think it's just hustle, hustle, hustle. And I think it's make more money, better money. All these little side hustles, maybe you look at those and go, what if I cut down on one or two of those, but I made more in another gig? I just think that's your focus right now. And then you go get qualified. 2024 will be here before you know it. I mean, 2022 is knocking on the door right now. I don't want you to be discouraged, but I do understand why you are and why you're impatient. But guess what? That's part of the deal. But you will get there. And think about how sweet it's going to be when you get there debt-free. And you do what you know you were born to do. You got this, Abby. Don't you dare quit. You got two options. But I would try to go make more money somewhere else or some better side jobs or whatever. I'd be looking for the best opportunity right now to make as much money as possible. So that's a different goal. We know what the dream is. We know how to get there. So it's how can we accelerate this have to so we can get.
Are you tired of sitting at home, letting your talents go to waste? Did you know that you can earn your...
It reminds me of one of the most embarrassing moments I've ever seen in presidential politics. The last cycle when Jeb Bush was running for the nomination, he was somewhere and he said something he thought was really powerful, and apparently the audience didn't react the way he wanted to, and this is hilarious. He literally goes, "Please clap." And I think that's where companies are at right now, right? They're like, please don't quit. Come on, leaders. You got to get ahead of this thing. Wow. Okay, so in this article, this is a firsthand kind of a Tiffany Tu and Lauren Hirsch. Hope I said those names right. They kind of did some research on this, and they had several people that they highlight in several different industries. Here are the quick takeaways. A lot of companies are now closing down for a full week around Labor Day. That's the plan. They did it this year, and they plan going forward. This is even in the agency world where they're known for the churn and burn schedule. Extended breaks have also been put in place by companies like LinkedIn, Twitch, Hearst Magazines, Bumble, the financial firm, and they're putting in extended breaks throughout the year. All right, folks, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you discover and do what you were born to do. Thrilled to have you with us. This is all about you. It is a caller-driven show. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Okay, hot topic is working conditions, the work environment, the mental health around work. I mean, this is just a big deal because the workforce is changing rapidly. It's just moving. People are moving, and they're looking for the better fit, the better feel. And a 4-day work week is something that I think it's beginning kind of in the space, the new space that I'm paying attention to, the workspace, HR stuff, shifting company policies as it relates to remote work, with more and more hybrid models, where we want you in the office, but not as much as before. So we'll let you do remote, but you got to come in some. That's the hybrid model. I think all this is leaning towards a lot of companies trying to find this middle ground as it relates to a hybrid work environment. And that environment, the middle ground is a 4-day work week. I think you're going to see it more and more. Now, it's not a new concept. If we just set the context for a moment, it's not a new concept at all. You have firemen, police officers, many people like this that are working in shifts. So they do a 4-day shift, maybe sometimes a 3-day, or they're working 24-hour shifts or whatever. So it's not a new concept, but it will be new, and certainly is something very, very different for your traditional business, corporate work environment. Okay, so we wrote an article on this. I did some homework. Got an article at RamseySolutions.com, the mothership for the Ken Coleman Show. And it's a 7-minute read. And so the title is, Are We Heading Toward a 4-Day Work Week? That's the full article if you want to dive into it. I'm just going to cover a couple things that we laid out. So primarily, what are the benefits? Because I think we have a lot of leaders that listen to this program as well. A lot of you are going, okay, if this is offered to me, what would that look like? So let's go with the pros and the cons, right? So the benefits, the pros. Less and less burnout, because you have a 4-day work week. So you have a different rhythm here. Longer weekends is primarily what's going to help with this burnout issue. More of a positive recreation, recreate myself with a longer weekend. Number 2, you're going to have to be more intentional, more efficient. So that is a positive. Because we take a whole day different, and you're going to have to be efficient to do that, to get it done in one less day. Better work-life balance. More time for personal development, self-growth. That book you wanted to read, the class you wanted to take. The new diet, the new exercise regime. All of this with that extra day, that 4-day weekend, if you will, that comes into play. Now, what are the cons? The negatives. I said you have to be efficient, right? So you will become more efficient, but if you don't do it efficiently, the con is you have more stress because you have less time. So 1 is less time, 2 more stress because of that less time, and 3, how about this? Unsatisfied customers. Companies are going to have to figure this out, because it's not just the worker you're thinking about here. It's like, okay, what about the customer? If we shove our operation from 5 days a week to 4, what is that going to look like? What's it going to look like? And so that's key. To think about the pros and the cons. If your company gives you that option, it's going to come with some learning. It's going to come with testing, trying new things. And it may not be all it's cracked up to be. Okay, now if you just ask anybody on the surface, you have a 4-day work week? Yeah, great, sure. Want that longer weekend, baby? Let's go. Well, okay. But in order for that to be true, other things are going to have to change. So you don't just take that one big giant change and go, hey, everything's the same. There's a whole lot there that I touched on. So again, that article, deeper read, good for you, RamseySolutions.com. The name of the article again is, Are We Heading Towards a 4-Day Work Week? And by the way, I think the answer is yes. I think we're headed there. I think it's going to be pretty normal. in the not too distant future. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's go to Mike in Phoenix, Arizona. Mike, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thank you for your time.
You bet. How can I help?
Well, I have a question. How do I change my mindset in who I'm becoming? Because I just don't like that person.
What is the mindset of this person that you don't like so much?
I'm just so focused on working, on paying off debts that I've put all of my life on hold except for work.
Specifically, what are the areas that you put on hold that you don't like, that you put on hold?
Improving relationships, spending real quality time with my friends and family.
Okay. So is it possible in your mind to pay off debt and spend time with friends and family?
It is.
Well, it starts there. So you said, how do I change my mindset? Somewhere along the line, your mindset has become, I've got to ignore everybody and everything unless I'm working and paying off debt. And there's something to that gazelle intensity, which is great, but it can also get out of whack and feels like it's getting out of whack for you. And you have to step back and go, wait a second. Yes, it's important that I get debt free, and I'm going to. I'm making progress. But I also can't just completely lose touch with everybody and lose touch with my heart and my relational side. It may slow down your debt-free journey a bit, but I think you just have to choose to say, wait a second, my mindset needs to be that I may not vacation with family over the next year or 2 or 3 to pay off debt. I may have to make some sacrifices, but I can still be with them and see them. And there's got to be a middle ground between not at all or not very much and spending so much time with them that you can't do what you need to do to get out of debt. So I just think you're flipping it to say both can be true. And so when I focus on something, I act on it. When I focus on fear, I act fearfully. You agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. When I focus on doubt, I act doubtful. When I focus on positivity, I act that way. You've got to focus on, okay, I'm going to redo my schedule and go, what would I like it to be ideally? I can't do that because of this debt-free journey and I'm busting it and working a lot, but I can do this. And so
Nandiyan nakita ko yung mga lagayan ng kanin, nandiyan. Dito sa loob. Dito nilalagay ko dito. Dalawa dito. Dalawa. Nandiyan nilalagay. Hindi makikita. Dito atas pa. Ay, atas. Masih datang ya, tak? Nakal tayo. Thank you.